其中大部分已經洗好倒入袋啦。而今日仲有一批毛公仔等緊沖涼，工作人員先幫佢哋做個體檢，檢查入邊有冇遺留電池、金屬配件等。如果特別污糟，就要做特別嘅處理啦。
这公仔的话，它是接触这小孩子经常接触不同的一些就脏的东西，地方会滋生细菌啊。在这一块的话，我们要做一个，尤其是有一部分叫洗前去渍，先把重污渍、脏的地方先去掉。
然後就可以一齊入機同消毒水玩泡泡浴啦。洗咗半個鐘，香噴噴嘅大黃啦、出爐啦，唔係出肉啦，污漬冇晒，亮麗如新。呢批毛公仔洗白白，一共要經過16道工序，之後仲要避免噏住，令到細菌再次滋生，產生噏味。
好似我身邊嘅呢隻大黃鴨，如果你喺屋企度清洗嘅話，可能曬10日8日，中心嘅填充物都好難乾透，咁要快速嘅烘乾先至可以防止細菌再次滋生。所以今次嘅捐公仔活動，我哋就用到咗專業嘅烘乾工序，細嘅公仔1日左右，大黃鴨2到3日就可以快速烘乾，而且機器會噴射出130度左右嘅高溫蒸汽，喺殺滅細菌之餘，仲可以恢復表面絨毛嘅蓬鬆。
由於毛公仔經常同細路仔嘅皮膚直接接觸，甚至瞓覺都會攬住，所以對毛公仔嘅消毒絕對唔可以馬虎，需要經過專業嘅紫外線同臭氧消毒。
最後通過臭氧跟紫外線的一個殺菌，所以全流程上的話，基本上做了一個殺菌，這樣的話，就說能夠確保整個衛生指標的一個，就是說可接觸性就非常強啦。
喺6·1兒童節來臨之際，我哋老友記會帶住呢幾百隻愛心公仔去到粵北山區，為佢哋帶嚟兒童節嘅禮物。
除咗多謝各位愛心人士，更加要多謝愛心建議。而我哋最希望嘅咧就係隨住我哋嘅愛心公仔送出去，愛心同善心可以繼續傳開去。透透翻嚟繼續傾。
等陣翻嚟仲有龍捲風來襲，威力強勁。
犀利啊啲樹！
真係唔好彩遇到，應該點樣逃生呢？
宁静的湖水似乎把时光定格在这一刻，飞利浦傍水而居的尊荣，或是云游之勇。
采用中国自主3代核电技术华龙1号的广西防城港核电3号机组，同时也是华龙1号在英国的参考电站，今天凌晨开始核打封闭，也就是全面挂装工作。而这也是中国肩负着中国核电技术迈向发达国家重任的核电机组，即将进入设备安装阶段。
我现在呢，就是在广西防城港核电站，这个机组的施工现场。大家看我身后这样的一个庞然大物，它就是此次即将进行吊装的华龙1号的穹顶，它的体积十分的巨大，直径达到了45米，而它的起吊重量呢，就超过了260吨。就这么一个大家伙，它即将从这里起吊，一直吊到我们身后。核岛大概离地面45米高的高度，这也意味着我们华龙1号英国示范项目即将进入最后阶段。
将要进行起吊的华龙1号穹顶是未来华龙1号核电机组核岛结构的顶部，整个钢制穹顶是由70块钢板组成的双芯面半球体，高度约13.6米。而它的厚度只有6毫米，这对于钢板曲面的加工工艺及焊接工艺都具有极高的要求。同时，吊装工作将由一台2000吨级的履带式起重机完成，吊臂高度约100米高，要求实现穹顶和核岛内钢制安全壳的完美对接，难度极高。
要将226吨的一个重物把它吊到63米的高空， 然后在精准的落到反应厂房的这个上口上面，这个对口的要求，这个误差控制在毫米级，这个对于我们来说也是一个非常大的挑战。
华龙1号核电技术是由我国自主研发、具有完全自主知识产权的第3代核电技术，也是当今世界核电领域在建设中的最为先进的核电技术之一。防城港核电3号机组作为华龙1号未来在英国建设的参考电站，于2015年12月开工，计划2020年建成投产。穹顶吊装意味着华龙1号机组将从土建阶段转入设备安装阶段，也是核电建设中最为重要的节点之一。
来，再次感谢专注肠道健康的
各国愿拓展广泛而密切的合作。
也背书了。
为什么？
And China's auto industry gets quite a bit more open. New specifics on tariff cuts are out, and we'll bring them to you in just a moment.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global business. Only on CGTN.
The White House and Capitol Hill once again find themselves on different pages, this time regarding Chinese telecom giant ZTE. Trump earlier said his team are putting together a deal to lift some of the restrictions imposed on the company, a move considered by Congress as a threat to national security. Ma Ke has more.
On Tuesday, close to 30 senators, including leaders from both parties, sent a letter to senior government officials calling for the Trump administration not to back down on ZTE. President Trump recently said his senior advisors are working on a deal to lift the U.S. supply ban on ZTE, which was widely considered as a death penalty on the company. He said the Commerce Department could replace the ban with new fines or other requirements, such as leadership changes at the company.
What I envision is a very large fine of more than $1 billion, could be $1.3 billion. I envision a new management, a new board, and very, very strict security rules. And I also envision that they will have to buy a big percentage of their parts and equipment from American companies.
China remains positive about these developments.
China and the United States have reached an important consensus. The two sides will work out the details of how to implement the consensus through consultation. The United States will send a high-level delegation from relevant fields to China for consultation.
Both the Chinese and US presidents personally interceding, ZTE is now a tool of leverage in the trading game. After the high-level trade talks last week attended by Chinese Vice Premier Liu He, the two sides agreed there would not be a trade war. Liu said the healthy development of China-US economic and trade relations is in line with historical trends. He also said new complications and contradictions that might be encountered in the future must be handled with caution and calm. China is now expecting the U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross's visit next month, during which the future of ZTE and other bilateral trade issues will be discussed. Ma Ke, CGTN.
The governor of the U.S. state of Alaska is heading a business delegation in China to seek more opportunities. It comes at a time when the world's top two economies have agreed not to launch a trade war and expand cooperation with each other. Our reporter Yang Jinghao speaks to the governor at the sidelines of the 4th China-U.S. Governors Forum held in the southwestern city of Chengdu.
Mr. Governor, China and the United States have reached certain consensus on bilateral trade issues. China will increase its purchases of U.S. goods and services. How can Alaska take this opportunity to expand its business ties with China?
You know, Alaska is a very rich resource state. If we were a country, we would be the 8th richest resource state in the country in the world. So we are the closest state to China. We have natural gas, we have gold, we have silver, we have copper, we have all sorts of opportunities in Alaska for resource. So we have commodity that is needed in China. So we're a perfect fit for the situation that we're in right now.
During President Donald Trump's visit to China in November, the two sides signed a deal to jointly explore for natural gas in Alaska. How is the project going, and how will it benefit both sides?
With President Trump and President Xi. So what that does is it'll bring over about $8 to $10 billion of product to China every year, and we think that project will last for 100 years. So that's nearly $1 trillion of commodity coming over to China from the United States. That's exactly the kind of projects that the president is looking for, that size and magnitude that will start offsetting the trade deficit. So it's time for us to begin to sell our products to China, and China very much wants our product, and they're going to work with us to help develop that project.
Alaska attracts a large number of Chinese tourists every year. Do you have any plans to promote the tourism cooperation between the two sides?
And one of our highest priorities is to get direct flights from China to Alaska. And I think we're close on that. And so to do that would be a tremendous benefit to the Chinese tourists and as well as to Alaska as well. Plus, we want to come to China directly as well, rather than it's a 7.5 hour flight directly versus about an 18 to 20 hour flight by the time we go through the different flight schedules, non-direct. So we are working very hard to have direct flights.
China will host the 2022 Winter Olympic Games. President Xi also said earlier that he hoped Alaska and China could promote exchanges in winter sports. So in what ways can we cooperate in this regard?
Well, when President Xi asked me that when he was in Alaska, I said we'll do everything we can. Today we signed an MOU on that between our university, Las Pacific University, who specializes in winter sports, with China to be able to train the Chinese athletes in Alaska for the 2022 Winter Olympics. So today is the day that they signed the memorandum of understanding to begin that process.
Well, let's turn now to business news. Lily joins us with more. Hi, Lily.
Hi there, Rachel. Let's start with some exciting news in China's auto sector. The Finance Ministry said on Tuesday that China will steeply cut tariffs on automobiles as well as auto parts starting July the 1st. And for car imports, the current 25% and 20% tariff will be trimmed to 15%. And that is while tariffs on auto parts will be dropped to 6% from as much as 25%. The ministry said that the cuts are a major step towards opening up in China's auto markets. The ministry also said that the cuts will diversify supply in the domestic market while providing cheaper vehicles and parts for consumers. Meanwhile, experts say that the auto tariff cuts will benefit foreign car makers and also in the same time encourage Chinese manufacturers to accelerate innovation and also to improve the quality of their vehicles.
Competition will become more fierce because of the tariff cuts. Under such circumstances, you can actually achieve a catfish effect that our domestic automakers, including domestic car brands, will accelerate their pace of restructuring and upgrading, and thereby will promote supply-side reforms in the auto sector.
German electric car makers Porsche and BMW said they were happy with tariff reductions on imported vehicles. The two companies said that they will reevaluate their current retail pricing system and also will make adjustments in accordance with lower tariffs. Other auto firms, including Lexus, Bentley, and Mercedes-Benz, also said that pricing adjustments will be made public soon. China will relax restrictions on foreign ownership in the country's auto sector step by step. The restrictions will be first lifted for companies producing electric cars and also special purpose vehicles this year. In year 2020, the policy will expand to commercial vehicles, and in 2022, the largest segment of passenger cars will be fully open to foreign investors. A full opening up in China's auto market will give foreign investors more liberty in their Chinese operations other than setting up joint ventures. On the other hand, China's homegrown brands will also have to enhance their competitiveness as they will be engaged in more intense competition with international giants. since Chinese President Xi Jinping announced at April's World Forum that the government will further open the financial sector, China has seen a series of new measures on this front. Yang Chenxi has more.
China has witnessed an acceleration in the opening up of its financial sector in the past 2 years. In Shanghai, the country's financial hub, foreign invested institutions now make up 30% of all financial firms. Some have set up wholly owned subsidiaries.
We are very hopeful the government will allow us or give us the opportunity to be more engaged, and as such, a broader license which will allow us to participate in more businesses and get engaged with a wider base of investors will be, of course, most welcome.
This April, further reforms have come to the securities sector, with the regulator CSRC releasing a new guideline that allows foreign companies to hold controlling stakes in their securities joint ventures in China. Experts say foreign firms do have certain advantages in the industry.
Many Chinese firms, state-owned or private-owned, are doing global acquisitions and investment. This includes going to places like Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, of course, Europe and the US. So whenever the Chinese firms going abroad, including going to Hong Kong, then these international security firms will have a clear advantage.
But for now, these foreign firms still account for a small market share. As their capacity increase and operations expand under the new measures, Professor Qian said their biggest challenge remains localization.
One important aspect is actually corporate governance. More specifically, whether the headquarters of these global institutions, whether the headquarters delegates the important tasks to the Chinese subsidiary or the Chinese firm.
That's because their Chinese teams are dealing with a different business and regulatory environment than in other global markets. Experts say the challenges for foreign securities companies now also reflect current issues in China's ongoing financial reform.
Someday the Chinese market is fully integrated into global markets. Maybe you don't need localize that much, but right now you still need it very much. The most important thing for the regulators, to me, is still to reform the Chinese IPO mechanism, a system where you move from a very administrative process to a process where it's more registration-based and it's more market-based.
Firms like UBS and Societe Generale have already submitted their applications to increase holdings. Experts say domestic securities firms should prepare for a more competitive industry. Yang Chengxi, CGTN, Shanghai.
And now for a look at global markets overnight. U.S. stocks ended lower on Tuesday, weighed down by lingering uncertainty of the trade talks between the United States and China. That comes as President Donald Trump said that he was not pleased. His comments came after Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said that the two countries had put the prospect of a trade war on hold and agreed to more talks. Analysts say Trump's doubt over trade talks prospects brought investors back to a reality that this issue is not going to end as quickly as many had thought. In Europe, the markets closed the trading day higher, with Germany's DAX up 0.7%, outperforming its peers. Asia-Pacific stock markets tracked Wall Street lower today as concerns over U.S.-China trade lingered. Let's now cross over to Timothy Pope in Shanghai and Melanie Ralph in Singapore. Hi there, thanks for joining us on the show. Tim, what did we see from the Chinese mainland markets this morning?
Well, we're looking at falls of close to 1% across the major indices this morning, Lily, after US President Trump said that he still wasn't happy with the status of the trade negotiations with China. The Shanghai Composite is off by around 0.8%, and the Chinext startup board is off by almost 1%. Now, the market's also having a mixed reaction to the decision by Beijing to slash the tariffs on car imports. Now, while we're seeing car maker stocks definitely in reverse this morning, auto parts manufacturers are in the fast lane. So we've got Yap Automotive Parts gaining 10% here in Shanghai this morning. But on the flip side, losses for a bunch of the major car makers in Shanghai, Shenzhen and Hong Kong. So we're looking at in some cases for both their mainland
桃花树下，
吃蔬菜才更有营养呢。
到的岳云鹏，
郭老师算什么东西？他现在
聪明伶俐的艾伦，
一条大，
优雅女神张小斐，料事如神的潘斌龙，
怎么又错了呢？
软萌小鲜肉张太维。
据说我这次是男主角。
剧本。仙体大人孙越，还有我这个男神队长郭德纲。
冇嘢，佢啱你個仔。會啊，唔想咧，小哥哥就屈啊！啊，瞓覺。乜嘢啊？啊，嗰度翻嚟啦！快出来了，快！
谁啊？谁啊？
沈大友，肯定不是。
你没走？
啊，我准备乘中午那班车走。
你老婆跟孩子呢？
他们下回去了。
我妈的事儿刚麻烦过你，现在又……
没事儿，回头你看看丢什么东西没有，以后记得把门窗锁好。你一个女人，男人又常年不在家，你得防着点儿。
知道了，那时间快到了吧？你赶紧走吧。
这不王大成吗？好久不见了，去哪？
在忙，在忙。
师傅，拿2瓶矿泉水。
那个，师傅赶紧开车啊！时间都没到，慌什么慌？
大爷，你认识王大成吗？
刚上车。
刚上车。
师
我们有点事儿需要你协助调查。
你们今天叫我来，是要了解什么情况啊？
我们今天找你来呢，是想了解一下沈大勇的情况。
沈大勇，
你没事吧？
好吧，我没事儿。沈大勇怎么了呀？
是这样，前段时间我们这里发生了一起重大的入室盗窃案，这个沈大勇就是其中的犯罪嫌疑人之一。
那跟我有什么关系啊？
沈大勇我们已经追踪了很长一段时间了，也查到了他的手机定位，发现他在几天前回了一趟老家，而且还在你的母亲家里待了很长一段时间。我们发现沈大勇去了你母亲家之后，信号就突然消失了，而且再也联系不上。
没见过。警察同志，是这样的，我母亲去世了，这几天啊，家里的这个客人和朋友都比较多，这招呼客人呢也不是我一个人，对吧？就这个沈大勇啊，我是真没有见过，真的。
行吧，那没什么事了，你可以先走。再有什么情况，我们会再联系你。
哎，谢谢。
告诉你个好消息，老板能让你回来接着开车了，说明啊，他并没有责怪你，赶紧把车开出去洗洗吧。
您好，您所拨打的电话已关机。您好，您所拨打的电话已关机。您好，您所拨打的电话已关机。您好，您所拨打的电话已关机。
喂，没说话，不说挂了。再看通缉令吧。
于谁？
我也想知道你是谁，你到底是谁？才跟袁秀挂了，警察找过你吗？是不是也在找沈大勇啊？你想说什么？我看见沈大勇了，我看见你把他撞了，然后塞进行李箱，你把他带上来。
车撞了人还跑了，然后把肇事车辆修补得干干净净。做这些事儿，把你折腾坏了吧？
你到底想干什么？
我只想跟你做笔交易。你听着，你不想坐牢，我只想要回我的东西。今天下午，嘉陵废弃的仓库见，别告诉其他人，一个人来。如果你不听我的，后果自负。
现在收看的是中国重庆电视台国际频道。
梦做了很久的人，一直痴痴在等，夜里突然降温，要打开窗前的灯，问爱高有几层，谁在一直攀登，两情长有几分，我的冷暖人生。其实世界绝不止这一个真，其实流泪也不止这一群人。命运剧本，我们来完成，演不同角色。都是缘分。梦做了很久的人，一直痴痴在等。夜里突然降温，要打开窗。